Hello, this side this time. The webcam broke the other day. And Gabriel got really depressed. Gabriel got really depressed the other day when his webcam broke on top of everything else that's a swear word broke. In the past 6 to 8 months, maybe a year of Gabriel's life, it has been ridiculous. And Gabriel's happy on one level that he can't admit the happiness to, because his microphone is in the picture, and that he's always wanted to do that. Gabriel, have the microphone in the picture as much as possible, but it's so hard for Gabriel to get the camera and the microphone working in the first place. The phone not falling over. It's being propped up by the old webcam at the moment. I'll show you. This old webcam. I've taken it apart to try and figure out why it broke, because to my best estimations, it's a pretty hard webcam. It's like one of the hardest webcams in my head. It's like a wannabe UFC fighter. He does a little bit of martial arts and he's hard. That was this webcam, and it broke. And I'm like, why did you break webcam? Why did you break? You shouldn't have broken. You're like, just pick the fights that you can handle. Don't go over your head. And it said, I know that now. And it didn't go more than it could handle, but somehow it was like, nah, I've got to leave now, Gabriel. I've got to leave you too now. What about the channel, hey? What about the channel? You just spent all your money trying to sort your life out, and just as you do that, and you admit to yourself you haven't got a penny left, the webcam goes and breaks. And £50 is a lot of money to Gabriel. £50 really is a lot of money. And that's what it would cost to replace this webcam with a second-hand one. It's a slightly better one for low light. Basically, I need the best low light camera I can afford. And the last one cost £50. An Anker Conf 300. That was the last one. If anybody wants a webcam, you can go back, compare. iPhone 13 mini today, front camera, selfie camera, the Anker Conf that does the low light, and whatever one we pick up today, most likely. I saw a 50 quid one. I saw a 50 quid. Should we go Ali G and say 50 squids? I know he hasn't been about for many years, but there's a story why 50 squid or 50 quid, but let's say £50. £50. And it's got, I was having a discussion in my depression yesterday with an AI. How am I going to reference this? An AI. I don't want to name them because I'm going to be not competing with them, destroying them in the future with my AIs. So I don't want to give them any publicity at the moment. Meta and Llama, they've all got silly names. Why Gemini? Google, tell us why Gemini. Tell us why you named it after an animal that has the worst breath in the world and spits everywhere. Facebook, why? There must be a reason. I mean, I half see Facebook. LLM, that's what they do, and it's called Llama. It's, just an A or something, A and an extra M, and you're there. So I kind of get Facebook, but we still don't want to promote them. They're not good for the environment. They're not perfected code, and they're overcharging. So I've got my nut butter ready to make. I've made a start. I'm just going to roll the smoke first. I said, sod it, I have to find out, I have to go into debt more. I just have to have a webcam where I've broken my phone and I've got a massive thick line running through it and I can't see the phone properly. So I'm going to order the replacement and there's no risk to the channel. There's no risk to the channel. And well, I've made a few live streams lately and I've been holding it in. I've been trying to, well, no, I've been trying to do my best. My best in those moments said, according to the future, bear with me, it's a very, if someone likes emotions, you could call this an emotional time, but I don't do emotions. So for me it's a very serious time, critical time. And it's not about speed, it's not about going fast. But considering of all of the different ways forward I could go at the moment, if I just pick myself up in the next few days and slowly get aligned to this, yeah, I'm not being clear. I've been in a real difficult place and I manage difficult places different ways. I normally have to figure out where I am first in time, space, physical body, psychology and love. Where am I with those places? Not specifically, there's just the first few things that popped off my head now to say. But if I was going to figure out where I am in time and space, those are the best coordinates I can think of in this moment. Not necessarily all the time. And it really has taught me a lot. I've really got good at what I do. And I just have to be patient. I just have to be patient. It's 8 minutes. So this live stream, if you've tuned in today and you're watching, Gabriel started this live stream at the wrong speed. Because Gabriel didn't know what he was going to say. And what Gabriel found out he's got to say on this live stream, the momentum of the last 8 minutes has been too fast. So how do I step down going too fast to a slower speed, carrying all of that same energy? It's a word beginning with S. It's a word beginning with S, and it's something I do very well. I'm very comfortable with compared to most people. And that is shame. Shame. My life has said, look, Gabriel, if you want to consider being alive again, being functional, being in control, and being out of control, because I'm so much in control of trying to control all of the bad things, that I'm never out of control in a fun way. So some fun, if you want some fun, you're going to have to be okay with shame, because I'm going to show you what I have to do. It's 10 minutes now on this live stream. I'm going at the wrong speed still, and I need to step it down. So I'm going to say, from this moment, I'm going to begin the process. And the words will come out as the words will come out. And you will hopefully see and understand what I have to do. 10 minutes and 20 seconds. There we go. And that is just allow myself some time. I can do that a few ways, and an idea just popped into my mind of a really good way I could do it, and it doesn't seem so odd. It's a few minutes of meditation. So again, after 10 minutes and 20 seconds, we're going to set a new marker. And that marker will be me finishing the nut butter. I've done the hard bit. There's 2 more ingredients, 3 more ingredients, and some mixing to do. So I invite you all in. Hold your breath because it smells, but I invite you into my little world here with me today. When we start the marker, I invite everybody in on the mark. And you can all be here with me, making this nut butter in meditation. But how do you meditate? Making the nut butter with Gabriel? How do you meditate making the nut butter with Gabriel? Meditate like Gabriel today. Just do what Gabriel would do. 12 minutes and 30 seconds. We've got a little countdown. That's the marker. And that's life. That's life. Yep. Got a new chair yesterday, and I've temporarily put it up. And well, that happened last night also. I sleep on this chair at the moment. And yeah, that happened in the night, and I found myself basically about that much above the floor. I don't want to say 2mm because I don't know what that is in decimals of inches. Put that in the comments. Not for me. I don't need to know that information. It's that much. It's 2mm and it's a decimal of an inch. That's enough information. But someone else out there would be like, oh, cool. Oh, and you do fractions. So it's a fraction of an inch, not a decimal of an inch. See, we do decimals over here in the rest of the world, America. You do fractions. What's good about fractions compared to decimals? We've gone off on a tangent. This is a meditative discussion that we found thanks to a chair breaking. This is still the meditation until the nut butter's over. I'm not here now. I won't be here when I finish the meditation, but I expect there to be some change. We'll find out what I change, what happens, what it sounds like, but we're still meditating. And we've got a conversation in meditation now, and a wonky chair. So at the moment I'm a bit like, wow, this is moving too fast. I said slow. So something happened. I'm going to leave it there in the background and see if I mention it later. Either way, we're meditating, talking at the moment. We're meditating, talking at the moment. In America, you guys do fractions. In the rest of the world, we do decimals. The point is, the rest of the world doesn't like it. The rest of the world thinks it's a bit like dopey and backwards and stuck in last century. And the rest of the world looks at America a bit like dopey idiots as a result of doing fractions instead of decimals. Why? Because you can go to more infinity, you can go to closer infinity, you can define it better. I'm not having much luck with this cup. One way or another, I promise nut butter will be made on today's video. I'm stirring it at the moment. There's 2 big lumps in there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get the big lumps out. The big lumps, the dried almond butter. And well, that is kind of the best taste that I fancy eating out of it today, so it's important we get as much of this lump out. So I'm going to use my hands if I have to, but I've only got a little bit of kitchen roll. So I won't use my hands then. But somehow this nut butter will get made, even if I have to go a little insane to make it. One way or another it will get made. So we don't know how the meditation's gonna go, do we? How is this meditation gonna go? Gabriel is a bit, well, let's say spontaneous. Let's say spontaneous, and there's a mess of a combination of nuts and olive oil both in the cup and on the floor and on his sock in front of him. That's Gabriel all of the time, most of the time, most of his life. But it's not Gabriel of the future. Not Gabriel of the future. Probably not Gabriel by the time you have first known Gabriel. And I make mistakes with trying to apply focus, being aware, chewing your food 30 times before you swallow. Conscientious, being a good person. And well, if I stir it anymore, it's gonna pop. But I've learned boundaries, I've learned lines within it, I've learned why to a certain extent, and I've got a program I can work to. And it's a bit convoluted, it's a bit not perfect, but I've put it together myself with all my trying through my whole life, and it's working, and it needs a bit more time. So I allow myself at the moment, knowing that if the work comes good, it could be 6 months. I'm not doing this for the first time in my life, knowing that I've got in control of it. And I'm clean, I'm not a mess. The point is, I'm really aware of the mess, and I hate it. I hate sticky fingers, and my hands are all dirty from olive oil and nut butter, and I can't bear it. It's physical agony. It hurts me physically to a great extent. My flat doesn't smell nice. I told you to hold your breath before you came in. I told you, didn't I? It stinks. Told you not to breathe. And how we doing with the nut butter? Well, I've got them down into smaller chunks, the bits that are remaining. I'm still turning it over. There's still not enough mixedness. The almond butter was pretty dry, and it was pretty demanding that it needed a good cup. Oh, that's an idea. We've got it. So it's literally burst open. So I'm going to pour it into the nut butter, the almond nut butter that I'm so keen on incorporating into the taste more. Because if it stays lumpy, I'm just going to get the other nut butters and everything else that goes in it. And as I was putting all the nut butters in, I was tasting them. I don't normally do that, so I can tell I'm quite not with it. And to get down to that level of consciousness that I'm willingly tasting the nut butters as I'm putting it in, instead of waiting until the end, I'm aware to myself that my consciousness is on the floor. That's not a good way for me to be. It's not awareness. It's not awareness, is it? It's not the focus. It's not the constant being on top of it. It's not the constant being on top of it. But that's not the point. The point is, I've studied it. I've tried to get over it. I've tried to be aware. I've tried to be focused. And what it says is, allow some mess. Allow some mess. Work to the greater plan to an extent that goes beyond what makes sense, that is annoying because it takes time to clean up. But if that's what you need in the present moment, just to be able to eat the goddamn nut butter and your physical abilities. So what I'm talking about is that constant need to be on top of it. What happens if we turn that off? Say, hang on a second. That takes a lot of energy. That feels like energy. That feels like being awake when I'm on top of it. But it takes so much energy and focus that it can get away from reality, from our physical body, the most important things. This is my findings. You can get away from reality. You can get away from certain things, and we ask questions then. Well, what happened? What happened? Because I thought I had it in control. And the point is, you have it in control if you take control, instead of your life not having that in it in the first place. Because hopefully we've got to at least the fundamental level, if not the crux of the problem, to eradicate it. But it's not even that. For me, it's a case of I'm about to apply control again. I've allowed myself to make mess after mess, and I'm about to take control again. And there's no fear, it's just time and observing life in a constant meditation, allowing it to happen. I could stop it now and I could clean up my whole flat. It is atrocious. You can smell it from, well, wherever you are in time and space also. And I could get on top of it this moment. But that takes so much away. It really, really does. So my hands are clean. I've cleaned the floor a bit. It's in the almond nut butter pot, and there's dried almond on half of it. The other half is touching the bottom, and that's where I'm mixing. It's a combination chocolate one. I don't need it perfect, just more mixed than I was able to do in that plastic pot. It needs a good mixing, and paper cup. I was mixing in the paper cup. So yeah, you do fractions, we do decimals. Decimals are more baseline 10, and the world is baseline 10. They're more easy to put in a computer, write down, and just know without having to do a further calculation each and every time. And the rest of the world looks at America and thinks, oh, America, dopey, ignorant, arrogant. Which way around, we don't know first. But the point is, it's just decimals and fractions, isn't it? What's the difference? What's the difference? Just decimals and fractions. If Americans turn around to Europeans or Canadians and say, stuff your decimals, stuff your decimals. I do fractions and I know it. I don't really care, it doesn't really matter. What is the point? Why are you looking at me that way? It's just a goddamn fraction, man. Just a goddamn flipping fraction. In fact, I'm not smarter than you because I have to do an extra calculation. Each and every time I go to count money, I have to do a calculation of fractions to money. I don't know, that's the way I see it. It's a fraction, not a decimal. It's an eighth, it's a quarter, it's a half, it's a shilling. I've never tried to do 1 over a shilling in maths before, but apparently that's still a fraction as well, a shilling. And now Gabriel's scared because he's so far off in meditation, talking, conversation mode. He's realised shilling, hang on a second, shilling, that's English, isn't it? That's English. Dime. You do dimes. You do dimes. Oh, and whilst you're all here, because you can see the microphone, I don't know if it shows up on the camera. 2 lighters not able to light my smoke. If you see the light go out on the camera, or if you've stopped meditating and you hear the sound go out, scream at me that the microphone needs the batteries changed, and I'll change the batteries, because it has happened a few times now and I don't want that to happen again. Just scream, Gabriel, the microphone, and I'll hear it. Okay, that's the mixing done. That's the mixing done. We've got 2 more ingredients. We're going to have a break in this meditation. We're not going fast at all. I'm in a little bit of discomfort, as you can see. In fact, I'm in quite a lot of discomfort, which is why I have problems in life at the moment. And it displays as my mental health disorder. It displays as my mental health disorder because when I've had problems over the past 15 years, it's been my mental health disorder. And I can clearly see now, it's not my mental health disorder. It's my physical body. So if I just focus and treat and remedy my physical body, my mental health doesn't feature, but it does, because I have to focus on my physical body so much. And, well, let's say I'm out of my mind in pain. So my mind isn't present, my mind isn't in control, my mind isn't able to take charge. What does someone do when they're out of their mind in pain? Think about that scenario, that situation. And then imagine thinking. For me, it isn't possible. And I know I'm out of my mind in pain. So as I'm living life, everything is an assessment of what's going on and the amount of energy I understand I have at my disposal. And what I can achieve as a realistic effort going forwards in life. And, well, I have to be committed to my physical body, and that's where all my focus goes. The past 15 years, it's been my mental health. My focus has been on my mental health. What's the problem here? I need to address this. And little bits on my physical body, over time growing slowly more and more, until I realise, no, everything I'm seeing, what I've been looking at in terms of my mental health is coming from my physical body. And over the past 2 years or so, I've sort of turned around in myself, and I'm not looking at my mental health anymore as a problem. I'm looking at the problem. I'm looking at my physical body creating scenarios that look like my mental health now. Why does it still look like my mental health? Because in the past 15 years, when I've gone through real difficult problems, it's been my mental health. And I responded in a specific way, and it's looked like a serious mental health disorder. And now what I'm doing is, as I'm responding, is focusing on my physical body, asking, why is my physical body screaming in such a high-pitched voice? Why is my physical body speaking in a low tone? What's going on for my physical body, with everything I understand of my physical body, with what's going on from my physical body, being out of my mind in pain, watching my physical body somehow move still, somehow move. It somehow doesn't stop at that point. I don't know why. My best efforts say, given everything I understand, I should have lost consciousness then, but I'm still moving. So in other words, I'm still working on my physical body as I can get a sense of what's going on, because when you've lost consciousness to your physical body to the extent I have at the present, it's a case of I have no permanent reference of my physical body. It's like if I just stop and go and do something to breathe for a couple of hours, and when I say breathe, I don't mean go for a walk in nature. Let your hair down, go to a nightclub, go and watch a movie, go to the shops just to do shopping. You can do shopping if you do it slowly and calmly and consciously, not the way I used to do shopping once upon a time. So sure, why not possible for someone to do it with movies? Because it's all a head trip, isn't it? You're sitting there disconnected from your body, watching a movie on a screen about someone else, something else. So not shopping. A nightclub? Well, you got to dance. How am I going to dance going slow? It's not the best place. Either way, I'm constantly monitoring my body, my life, my heart. What bit of breathing and love do I need in my life now that I can achieve? And my life has become very different. But it still looks like I've got a severe mental health disorder. My physical body's in a bad place. What it needs to heal, this is my understanding, isn't accepted 100% in this world. And sometimes it looks scary, sometimes it's got horrible labels like psychosis that we don't understand. But the point is, if I just do the work on my physical body, my mind rests that I'm in control if my physical body isn't in pain. Yeah, believe it or not, it's that simple for me. And if I don't win that battle, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to think that I am having a good time in a nightclub, and that's what I need in life, which I desperately need. Or what was the other options? Go and watch a movie to zone out, to not focus, but still be conscious. It's not the best thing for my body, but it would give me something. So it can be used again. Maybe it's like life says, I need a bit of space. I've been working on my physical body now all of the time. And well, there's an opportunity to go to the cinema. Why am I going to turn that down? And as long as you can make that decision, knowing what you're going to put yourself through, the physical body, through the situation, yourself as a whole system, including all the different elements. Do it. Absolutely. It's a good thing if you can do that. I know I don't think a lot. I know I'm very peculiar, and I have a different way of looking at positive and negative and things in the world that I might not be most people. So everybody has to make their own assessment. And the nut butter is almost done. The nut butter is almost done. With an ever-growing amount of people sharing their experience with me, nut butter's done. So what was in the nut butter today? Very, very dry almond nut butter. A really, really good quality, crunchy almond nut butter. A little bit of raw, light tahini or sesame seed paste. Olive oil. And well, I normally put 2 chocolate powders in it. I've got a raw one, which is really healthy. Get it in there for just medicine. But I don't put this one in the main one, and it's organic. I didn't know. Oh, and it's a special raw one further that I found out in my life. Let's see if we can find the word. It begins with T. It's a type of chocolate bean. It's a type of chocolate bean. It begins with T, and I can't see it. There's 3 types of chocolate bean. Well, there's actually 2. There's 2 types of chocolate bean. And this one is a mixture of both those types of chocolate bean. There are only 2 types of chocolate bean in the world, to my understanding. And this is a special one that's a mix of both. But it tastes different. It tastes different. It doesn't taste the same as the stuff that I grew up knowing chocolate. So I found a really, really good dark chocolate powder, dark cocoa powder, not cacao. Cocoa and cacao. This one's cacao. This one's medicine. Cocoa, most of the time, if it's sold as cocoa, means tastes like it, similar taste, but not it. Not it, not the medicine. Gone through some process where it hasn't got the medicine. But everybody knows that taste as chocolate. Everybody grows up buying the chocolate from the shops, the naughty chocolate. And we know that as chocolate. And I'm making chocolate, and I've made it healthy. It's a healthy chocolate nut butter. But to make it really, really chocolatey, I put in a good quality dark cocoa powder. And I've run out. So it's just the raw one today. Oh, and I put some maca in. Maca. Yeah, I don't keep things clean and tidy, as you can see at the moment. I've tried all 3 macas. There's a red, a black, and a popular yellow. A red, a black, and a popular yellow. And both the black and the red are sweeter. They're sweeter. The yellow is more wholemeal taste, like a bread. That's the taste. It's wholemealy, oats and barley and wheat taste. It is still slightly sweet, definitely still slightly sweet. I know the sweetness of maca. See if you can taste sweetness in maca. It's there if you want your taste buds to go there. So that was the end of the meditation. I invited the whole world in and you were all there with me, making that chocolate nut butter. What else was there to talk about today? What else were we going to talk about? That's it, slowing down. Well, I didn't manage to slow it down as much as I had hoped because the chair broke. Because the chair broke halfway through. And we found discussion and conversation. And if you're trying to get control, which is what I'm trying to do of my physical body and situation and life, just to slow down. And you have something unexpected happen like that, your nervous system can understandably, well, what does the nervous system do? It freaks out, but that's not a good way to describe it. It freaks out. It loses control. It loses control. And if all I'm trying to do is get control and I've just lost control, my nervous system slips from its understanding of time and space, and that the body feels it. The body knows it. It's like it's trying to get control and all it needs to do is hold things steady for a short period of time, just to breathe to itself, knowing that it's okay. And then we get a massive slip. And I'm doing something, so I have to continue. I'm making a live stream and I was planning to meditate for a few minutes, making that live stream, making the nut butter, because I was struggling to do two things already. And we've gone to conversation and all that we were meant to be doing was the nut butter. I've even eaten some of it. So, I've been a bit depressed lately. My life has been a bit depressed. Things have been very hard and it's still very depressing. But I know life. I know that life is life and life doesn't favour people. Life shouldn't favour people. And when I'm making questions to life and not another person, not blaming other people, just asking questions of life, why life? Trying to gain wisdom from all the different ways it hurts. And structure my life accordingly so it doesn't hurt as much in future. Stop all the hurt once and for all, or as much as possible, so I'm able to live my life at a better standard, a better experience. And I've made the decision that where I allow out of control and mess at the moment, and I've done so for a good number of years, probably since 2019, I realised I need to be doing this. Just the wisest thing to do, you know. If I'm drinking my coffee and I'm slurping my coffee, not slurping, I don't like slurping. But if I drink it and I find myself in a place where I'm sort of out of my mind, in shock to the situation, let water drip from the mouth. Let water drip from the mouth if that is what happens naturally. If you can relax your nerves to allowing yourself to do that, there is such space there to be found. You go to drink your coffee and it's like a drop of water is about to run off the lip and you go to catch it. Instead, as it's dropping off the lip, your body's totally relaxed and you're watching it just drop out of your mouth, and it doesn't mean a thing. There is an immense amount of space to be found there. And I've done that, and I know that. And I know that as reality now. Not all the cleanliness, not the constant gasping to maintain a cleanliness that on a physical level is detrimental. Not always, but on the whole it's detrimental to our health to maintain that level of cleanliness when that's what we're going through. If you can't do it, you can ask the question, why can I not do that? Why can I not just let a single drop of my drink fall from my mouth onto the floor, onto my clothing? It's only a drop of water anyway. Even if it's Coca-Cola you're drinking, it's just a drop of liquid that would disappear. Or you could clean it up after another 5-10 minute meditation. Once you're certain in yourself, you have no attachment in needing to clean it up, because it doesn't really matter, a drop of liquid, let that one go. Or maybe you've realised after 10 minutes, no, there's nothing to it, I could walk away if I want, doesn't mean a thing. But because it's life, and because there's no pressure now that I must do that, I'll do it. I want to clean house first. And well, that's where I am in life. I need the life. I need to be doing stuff. I'm bored. I'm bored of the last 15 years. I've wrapped that up to a certain extent, my mental health. I'm focusing on my physical body now. And my physical body needs... Well, what does my physical body need? Well, it needs to keep the mind happy. The mind is the problem. The heart is innocent. The heart is just the heart. Good and the bad, wherever it gets taken, that's just heart. That's just heart. The point is, how does mind interpret that? How does our mind interpret some of the horrible places our heart gets taken in life? And I need to end this live stream soon because I don't have a lot of battery left on my phone. Anyway, I'll keep the rest short, so maybe that helps. I'll keep the rest of this live stream short. A few minutes now. I've been depressed, really depressed, and I've got every reason why that depression should mean I do something drastic, like burn my boat down. My life is that bad at the moment. It's comparable to the time that things got so bad and I burnt my boat down. But I know not to do that again. And what I've got to do is basically commit to what I can achieve from this point, from everything I am, in applying a level of game plan to the situation. I've seen the situation, and it's like, if I don't put a game plan in place now and start it now, it doesn't have to start going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. No, just say from this moment, this is what I'm doing. And the game plan is to focus on, I look at it as an energy. That energy in comparison can be called positive, but it's not positive and negative. It's just, that's what you would normally place these two energies in. The energy that I've been in, that my life has been demanding, no, this is way forwards. And as a result of small things in my life happening and occurring, what's needed in my future is different. And it's clear to me that if I don't get myself in a better place, because what am I doing at the moment is allowing myself in depression. I'm allowing myself in depression because I know there's things to be gained there. But life has changed and I can't stay in that place anymore. There is nothing to gain in that place anymore. Therefore, I need to make a change, and it's a huge change, but I've done it before. And it's focusing all of my efforts in managing my life, bringing it down to energy and the fundamental, and saying, I need to change the energy. Really knowing what that means. And I'm going to change the energy, and I'm going to head forwards, looking at a different energy now. And this energy is going to be holding on, because this isn't a good energy to easily break away from depression. But I'm focused, and I've got to go forwards to a new, cleaner energy and pick this up again, this depression that I'm going through, in the future once I'm in a clearer, more positive space. Because I don't think I can think as clearly here as I can in a better, cleaner space. So I need to finalize the game plan today. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'll probably be back soon with another live stream.